This episode is about a word most people avoid, a word we've been taught to fear: failure.
Welcome to Your Inner Advocate, a podcast by Kimen Petersen, formerly Conversations with Kimen. This podcast is a space for inspiration, soulful insights, and meaningful life lessons. Your host, Kimen Petersen, draws from personal stories and powerful conversations with remarkable people to help illuminate your path. These episodes reflect his lived experiences and thoughtful perspectives, all aimed at encouraging you to live life with greater authenticity, joy, and ease. Your Inner Advocate is here to help you tune in, trust your inner wisdom, and move through life with more clarity, flow, and fulfillment.
Welcome back. What if failure isn't something to avoid? What if it's something to understand, to use, to work with instead of against? Because here's the truth. You actually don't either win or lose. You either win or you learn. You know, there's this incredible misunderstanding about success. And you see it all across social media and everything. You see all these best people doing their best life. It's like you're comparing your life to their highlight reel. Because no one, but very few people highlight the things that didn't work out. So we're left with this strange thought that success means never failing. It's like success people get it right. You know, that things work out for them, that they don't struggle, they never fall short. But that story's incomplete. Because every single success stories, every one of them is built on missed attempts, wrong turns, frustration, doubt, setback, starting again, over and over again. Successful people don't always win. The only thing that differentiates a successful person from a person who's not so successful is that successful person just gets up one more time. And the truth is, I've said it before in past podcasts, it's just one more time. They say that success is going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. But I don't know if that's 100% accurate. I think it's more like success is going from failure to failure, starting one more time and regaining your enthusiasm. Because strength isn't built from failing as per se, because some people could use failure as something to stop them and tear them apart. Failure or success is built by overcoming failure, which one aspect is trying again. One aspect is getting back up. And one more thing is, and leaving that in the past and trying again. And how many times is enough? There isn't a number. If you want to be successful, you have to keep on trying again. That's just as simple. It's a very simple recipe. But what if failure is part of the formula for success? You see, what I'm proposing is that failure isn't a detour on the road to success. It's actually the road. You need a certain number of failures to build knowledge, to develop skills, to grow emotional strength, to learn what doesn't work, to develop resilience, earn confidence, sharpen your determination. So you don't skip failure, you move through it. This year I heard this really amazing kind of idea quote. And they said, what if there was a finite number of setbacks that you need to go through in order to get to your success? And if the truth in life is impermanence or change, that says that this too will pass, right? There's going to be times where you're not hitting the mark. And every time you don't hit the mark, you checked off one more bad day, one more bad day. And then what happens is, because the truth is impermanence or change, that on the other side, that great day, the percentage chance of it happening next, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until boom. So literally, if you knew that there was a finite number of setbacks that you needed to go through in order to get to your ultimate success, how fast would you charge through each of those setbacks? And how much time would you actually spend looking in the rearview mirror when it passed? Really good questions. So why does failure feel so personal? Like it's like, because I've failed a lot. And even like, I still feel like I'm failing a lot of the times. And this is why failure hurts so much. Because we don't see it as something that happened. We turn it into something it means. So think about that for a second. It's not something that occurred. We place meaning on what's so. So what's so is I didn't hit the mark. What that means is I failed. I'm a failure. I'm not good enough. I'll never get there. I should just quit. This isn't just for me. Like how, I'm not talented enough. I'm not this. I'm not that. I'm not the next thing. But the truth is, what happened and what you make it mean, it's not the same thing. Because failure is just a thing that occurred. It's just an event. It doesn't mean anything until you make it mean something. Because human beings are meaning-making machines. We make everything mean something. Nice and tidy. Or maybe not. There's a quote, failure is an event, not a person. So the truth is, it's actually okay to feel the feelings. In fact, you need to feel it. You need to feel what you feel when you're feeling it. You don't hit the mark, get upset, get frustrated, feel it all the way through, right to the end. The freedom is in the feeling. So let's say this really clearly. And because this really matters, it's okay to feel sad when you don't succeed. It's 100%. It's okay to feel frustrated. It's okay to feel angry. It's okay to feel disappointed. Emotions are not weakness. They're information. And if you reframed it just a little, you would see that feeling all those things told you something. This was important. You really cared. You tried. You invested in yourself. The emotional response is part of successes, not evidence against it. So the truth is, it's okay to feel. But the key to moving forward towards your dreams and goals is not staying there. Because here's the balance. Feel it, but don't live there. Feel it, but don't make it mean anything. Process the disappointment, acknowledge the frustration, and let yourself be human. And then there's the only thing in the playbook to success that you do after that. You get back up, you dust yourself off, and you try again. Because if you stay stuck in failure, it'll turn your pain into paralysis. This quote says it all. Pain is inevitable. We are going to experience pain in this life. Suffering is optional. And suffering comes from the meaning we place on the thing that caused the pain. So one of the things to understand, like why all this? Why is failure such a big thing? Why do we put meaning on things? Why? And it's because your mind has a default setting for the most part. Not everybody. There are outliers out there. But I'm thinking, like, if you're anything like me, your mind has a default setting like mine. And here's a challenge. If you leave your mind unchecked after failure, right? Because literally success is a deliberate process. Getting through something is a deliberate and intentional process. But if you leave your mind unchecked after failure, it will feed you fear. It will replay the moment over and over again. It will magnify the doubt. It will question your worth. It will tell you to quit and try to convince you that it's safer to stop trying. The truth is, the default setting of the human mind is simply to protect you from getting hurt. But protection is not growth. I've said it before. It's like the reason this form of human being survived and became the dominant species on this planet is not because we're the strongest. The Neanderthals could have crushed our skull with their hands. It was two reasons. One is we're incredibly adaptable and we can live in all the climates. But the other is we're hyper vigilant to threat, which was really good before our cognition, our brain was bigger. Before it got bigger, it was perfect. You know, you see a lion, you run, you hide, or if you have no choice, you fight. And that's survival, right? And then when our brains got bigger and the threat was not a lion anymore, it was the boss or, something that was more cognitive or failing at something or whatever it was. Your brain was going to feed you fear to stop you from risking getting hurt, which in its own perverse way is beautiful that your brain is trying to protect you. But the way it does it by keeping you small is not effective if you want to do great things on this life. So sometimes you just have to tell that thought process, thank you for sharing, and you get up and you do it again anyway. So how do we battle with this? And this is like, if there's any cornerstone of what I want to teach and what I'm trying to develop, and I'm trying to find the words to put it so succinctly that people just lands on people. It's the whole idea of an inner advocate, right? The inner critic, the negative dialogue, the ego, it's all automatic. Why do I say at the end of pretty much every episode, keep building your inner advocate? Because your inner advocate is the deliberate, conscious reframer of your life. See, conscious reframing is everything. And this is where your success can happen. You must consciously and deliberately reframe your failures and the things that happen in your life. Instead of, this proves I can't, try this. This taught me something. Instead of, I'm starting over, I'm starting again from experience. You got to find a way to reframe. And at first it's hard. And it feels clunky. And maybe it doesn't even feel authentic. But it's like anything. Do you think the first time you jumped on a bike, well, maybe one or two of you could ride? Probably not, right? Most of us. And most of us had training wheels or something to help. And then after a while, you got better. And then somebody pulled the training wheels off, and it was scary at first, but then you got it. You found the balance. And now you don't even think about it anymore. The one thing, if you're stuck in a negative cycle, in a negative thought pattern, in a life you're not succeeding in the things you want to do, the problem's not in your outer world. The problem's in your inner world. You need to learn to reframe and keep on reframing over and over again until it becomes a habit. And then keep on reinforcing that habit and getting better at it. Because the truth is, when you change your inner world, your outer world will change. Now, that doesn't mean that everything will be in your hands in a minute, but what it means is your whole experience of where you are will improve. And that's the thought. That's what it's about. The truth is, sometimes you win. Sometimes you learn. And that's another recipe for success. Like, failure is meant to be a teacher. It is. Every time you fail, if you can find one thing of value in that, then it's never wasted. And if you don't look for it, then it is a waste. But that's conscious reframing. Failure teaches you things that success never would or could. When you fail, you learn what you need to improve. You start to see where your gaps are. So over time, if you're paying real attention, you see what strategies don't work. Sometimes it shows you what matters the most. And it always shows you, if you're willing to see through the feelings, the height of the feelings shows you how much you want it. Failure redefines you. It sharpens you and prepares you. Now, the thing about failure is, this is another myth, right? When it all falls apart, people think they're starting over. But trying again isn't starting from zero. Just let this sink in a little bit. When you try again, you're not trying new. You're actually starting from experience. Because you're bringing lessons, awareness, strength, perspective, new resilience by getting back up, and emotional intelligence. When you start again or you try again, you have this wealth of knowledge that you didn't have the first time, or the second time, or the third time, or how many ever times every single time, if you continuously look for the lessons and you keep on shifting and changing, you're going to be unstoppable one day. Because, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and expecting a different result. The truth is, starting from experience, it's not nothing, it's everything. So try again, but try smarter, right? Fail. Fail bigger. Fail harder. Fail smarter until you can succeed. Failure is feedback. Use it to adjust your approach. Like, okay, so I failed. Okay, maybe if you're an athlete, maybe my nutrition was off. Maybe I have to tweak that. Maybe I need to go out and find some help from somebody who understands, like a registered dietitian or a sports dietitian. Maybe like there wasn't enough strength in my legs to continue at the far end of a race. Maybe I need to go and see a strength and conditioning person and see what I can do to help that. Adjust your approach. Change your strategy, like work with a coach. And like a lot of times they talk about negative split, right? You go out a little bit easy and you finish strong. Improve your skills. Ask better questions. Not just of other people, but of yourself. Seek support. What about like therapy? What about like mental performance coaching? What about physio, massage therapy? What about chiropractic? What about strength and conditioning? Seek support. What about a really good coach? Because some people are going into something, but they don't understand the whole process. And just refine your process. Success doesn't come from trying harder alone. It comes from trying smarter or wiser. And wisdom is only built in overcoming failure. You cannot build wisdom without experience. And the only way real experience comes is through failure. Because you either win or you learn. And you gotta hold this, the highest is the courage to get back up. Some days getting back up looks powerful. Like, yeah, I got this. Other days it looks like shaking hands, tired eyes, quiet determination, one step forward, tears rolling down your face, frustration, doubt, fear. And yet, it still counts. Confucius said, our greatest glory is not in never failing, but in rising every time we fall. And there was another quote that I love. It's like, the true measure of a person is not the fact that they can be knocked down. It's in the way they get back up every single time. So the truth is, if you haven't failed yet, you're probably not trying hard enough yet. You're probably playing a small game. And I'm not judging you for that. I'm just saying it's honest. Because every meaningful life, it's a meaningful life, includes setbacks, recalibration, perseverance, courage, endurance, wisdom, resilience. And if you're failing, it means you're in the game. Not just a little, you're all in. So in the closing, I just want to give you the reframe that changes everything. Failure is not the end. It's not proof you should stop. It's not evidence that you're incapable. It's like a stepping stone. It's experience. It's education. It's preparation. So get up, learn, adjust, try again. Fall down, get up, learn, adjust, try again, fall down. And repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat. And always remember, every time you get back up to try again, you are not starting from scratch. You are starting from experience. Keep learning from everything that doesn't work quite the way you want it to. And keep on refining your skills and building your own inner advocate.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Your Inner Advocate, a podcast by Kimen Petersen, formerly Conversations with Kimen. If you found value in today's episode, please follow, like, and share the podcast with someone who you think may benefit from it. You can listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, and connect on Instagram at your_inner_advocate. Until next time, keep listening to and developing your inner advocate.